I had, early on in my career with WWE, I had an 8-year stretch where I averaged 250 dates a year. But they all kind of run together because, there was a time I did 35 nights in a row. And that's a different city, too. You're straight on the plane or you're straight in the car. And we didn't have... It's really cool now to see how our industry has evolved in the sense that now we have doctors that travel with us. We have trainers that, we have a medical team that, anytime that something happens now, there's somebody on it immediately. Early on, we weren't doing anything but just trying to strap it down and do it all over again the next night. I had an injury. I was in Springfield, Massachusetts. I was wrestling a guy by the name of Mabel. He was my height, which is about 6'8", 6'9", but he was like 500 pounds.
Yeah.
And he was just grossly out of shape. His cardio was horrible.
Yeah.
And so, and that's usually, a lot of the times, that's how injuries occur, when somebody's doesn't have their cardio and can't keep up in a match. And this is exactly what happened. We're in the match and I'm flying around and he was supposed to be someplace and
he didn't get there in time. Right.
So he tried to compensate, and instead of hitting me, with this part of his arm, he lunged, and I'm coming off of the ropes, full steam, and basically run right straight into a big punch. Hand hits me in my eye socket, and then I have an orbital blowout fracture.
Yeah.
Right. We get back. So I think I've just caught one. Right. I'm going to have a shiner. It is what it is.
No, not with that.
We're driving back. We were kind of staying in Boston and making all these little towns around Boston on this particular loop. And my manager, Paul Bearer, was driving. I'm sitting in the car. And I didn't even really blow my nose. I just kind of went like that. My face it blew up.
Yeah.
And so I did have a bag of ice. So I put the bag of ice back on it. It goes back down. And if I sneezed, anything my whole face just puffed out.
Yeah.
I think, I'm not smart enough at that particular time to realize that there may be something wrong with my, with my face, but I've broken both of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I wrestled 2 more nights.
Yeah.
It would, but it was, back then our mentality was, if you walk, you go to the ring.
Yep.
Because it's when you don't show up to events. And, we're struggling it too. Our business isn't like it is now. So anytime that you miss a show or something like that, it adversely affects the next time we run that city. Because people will think about well, I bought tickets to see such and such, and he didn't show, so am I going to do it again? So there's that mentality. You got to go to the ring. You got to work.
Yep.
It's what's best for business. And but anyway, so I'd worked 2 more nights, and I don't even remember what town it was, somewhere up there around Boston. And I was going to meet one of the other guys at a bar after the show. And we were staying in different hotels. So
rest up.
Yeah, we were going to replenish our fluids. And I couldn't find the bar. And so I'm driving back to my hotel. It's about 12:30, 1 in the morning. And I see this, it's a kind of a rural area. And I drive by and I see a sign that sticking out, it says hospital. I said, you know what, I'm going to drive through there. And if there's nobody in the emergency room, I'm going to go get this thing checked out. So I drive in there. There's nobody in the emergency room. I park, I get in, I go, they give me a CAT scan. The doctor comes out and he goes, well, you've lost about 50% of your orbital floor. He goes, yeah, you need to go home and find you an ophthalmologist and a surgeon. And, comes to find out, I had to end up losing 90% of my orbital floor.
So what are they?
My optic nerve is setting right on top of a jagged piece of bone.
Oh my God.
If I'd have got hit in the right side of my head again, there's a good chance I'd have lost my eye. And so anyway, it took 2 surgeons. They go in, they pick out all the bone fragments, and then they put in a fake one. And then years down the line, so he was one of the bigger guys, and then one of our littlest guys, like Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
He's a tiny guy, sweetheart of a guy. He ended up jumping off of the top rope and his ass was supposed to hit me in the chest, but it hit me right in the face. Dude, it was about like this
Must
bony,
have a hot
bony
ass.
It was a bony ass, and
Yeah,
it was right over the bridge of my nose.
Right.
So he lands, and then he drives me. I got all of his weight on my head, and I hit the mat and blew out my other one.